All right,
well, I'm back, and my models, my lovely assistants here, seem like they're ready. If I can get them to cooperate with me, I'll go over some of these vests. Stay. These vests, the dog vests range like 3 millimeter and like 5 millimeter. And that's how thick the neoprene is on them, and that dictates a lot about what kind of weather you can use them in, whether it's warmer weather, whether it's super cold, or whatever. You want the thicker vest. So I've got both here. She's wearing a 3 millimeter. I got one wearing a 5, and then I've got one wearing the new Momarsh Versa Vest, which we just got not too awful long ago. So what I'm going to do here, the go is, I'm going to try to get my dog up here, run you through it, and talk a little bit about these vests and if I think they're worth much. Josie. Here. All right, she's going to sit that way. What she's wearing is a 3 millimeter, and this is a Cabela's. Here, Josie. Turn her. There you go. There you go. She's wearing a 3 millimeter from Cabela's. It's one of the cheaper ones you can buy, maybe 30 bucks or something. It just has Velcro on the back. There's no zipper or anything like that. It's not a boater's parka or anything like that. It's got handles to pick them up. It's just your basic vest. This vest I would have her wear maybe early in the season. Maybe wear it in September or something like that. If I'm in a place with a lot of stick-ups and stuff like that, I'm afraid that she'll get hit. Because one time we were goofing around in my backyard where I lived before in the river, and she likes to jump as far as she can sometimes, and she impaled herself on a stick, and it hit her right here in the chest, and it went down the side between her skin and her ribs. So it's a big deal to try to protect them from that kind of stuff. So what she does now, she doesn't get out much without one of these vests on. But this is a 3. You can see here, you have to cut them here, because if you don't, it'll rub their legs right here. And so you got to make some adjustments and stuff like that. But for 3 millimeter, it's not been a bad setup. I've used it a couple years. It's got a hole or 2 in it back here, which has got caught on briars. But other than that, she does pretty well. She's 75 pounds. So in case you're wondering how much she weighs and how big it would be on her, I'm not even sure what the size is on it. I think it is it doesn't really say, but for early season, if you're going to be hunting someplace warm or something like that, it's good for that kind of thing. But beyond that, I probably, when it got colder, would not use that. But the Cabela's brand one's been good and haven't had any trouble with it. So I can recommend that for early season stuff. Come on, Justin. Remy. Here. Sit. All right. Remy is wearing a banded 5 millimeter. Now I've had this thing for like 5 years. It's went through. That dog's was her first vest. Josie's first vest. It went from her when she outgrew it. She went to a friend of mine who had a chocolate lab. He used it. He used it for a couple years or something like that. His dog outgrew it. When Josie, who's the mother of this dog and the black female I'm going to show you in a minute, when he took a litter mate, the damn a male, he used it when he got big enough, and when he got too big for it, it rotated back to me. Well, this dog right here only weighs 55 pounds, and so it still fits her. It's a little loose here. I mean, that's when you watch those videos and stuff, when they're selling a product, they don't really like it to be like that. But I don't know how you could change that here much. You know, it's been cut out here to fit in the chest for the dogs that's been using it. It's got the handles here. It's got a 2 clips back here. This has been a very durable vest. I don't like banded stuff. I think banded stuff's way overpriced. I don't think it's worth much. However, when it comes to the dog vest, they do make a really good 5 millimeter dog vest, because this vest right here has been fantastic for 5 years through 3 of my dogs and 2 other people's dogs. So I would recommend it. It zips. This one has Velcro, and it also zips in the back. So I mean, it's 5 millimeter. Again, it'll keep your dog warm and super cold. I've used it. They've used it. It's very constructed quality wise. I don't think you could go wrong with this vest. You can still buy this vest all the time too. So this one's still available to buy, and I wouldn't buy waders or anything like that off banded, but this is pretty legit. And like I said, she's 55 pounds. You can see how well one of these vests will fit her. I'm not sure what the size is on this one. I think this one actually does say it right here. This is a large. They say she's 55 pounds, and this is a large. So they do run a little small. This says 18-inch neck and 28 chest. So I think she's actually got about a 19-inch neck or 7. She's right in there, 18, 17, 19 inch. So a large fits her. You see how it fits her. Pretty good. Come on, Rim. Come on, Rim. Down. Come here, Nix. Up. Come here. See it? Oh, I got 2 dogs. Okay. This is Nix. She weighs in at about, watch out, Kylo. Down, bud. He weighs about 95 pounds. I don't even want to do anything with him, but she weighs in at about 70 pounds, 68, 70. This is the new one, the Momarsh Versa Vest. This is the one that's supposed to fit every dog for life, and you can't adjust it because I've had it out here. I've had it on her, I've had it on her, and I've had it on her. So I've had it on all 3 of these dogs, and I had to fix it every time to make it fit each dog. You can see it fits pretty snug. A lot of people complain. I've seen some complaints about this being narrow right here in the chest and not offering that much protection, but it offers quite a bit here and up here. You got to keep it off their inside of their pits, man, because what'll happen is that rubs and they're not comfortable, and after a long day it really hurts them. So if you notice on those other vests, they're cut in there too. This is just, they just saved you cutting. So to fit every dog, they've saved you cutting. All you gotta do is take it apart and fit it to your dog and put it back together. It's got, there's a strap back here, or there's actually a 550 cord back here, the paracord, to pick this dog up if you needed to. I was concerned, and there's also a loop back here you could latch your dog. I was concerned, and I called and asked them about it, is what kind of Velcro are we talking here? Is it gonna be worth doing? Well, your Velcro will hold is what my concern was. Well, the Velcro's here and here when you're adjusting it for your dog, and here at the shoulders. That in and of itself, it would probably come loose. It's possible to come loose. But once you add these panels, and that's these camouflage parts that are off they're by themselves. Once you take these panels and you add them to the mix, it secures this in here that I really don't think that you're ever gonna have this thing fall apart. I don't know where they build this Velcro, but the Velcro that holds these panels on is the strongest Velcro I have ever seen in my entire life on anything. I mean, you literally cannot hardly get it loose. I mean, I can about pick this dog up and it won't come loose. It's top shelf. Velcro's right. So this one also Velcros and zips. So you got a really good zipper here. Then you got a secondary for that right there. I have not used this in the field yet. We've trained some with it. We've worn it out here. I've tried it on the different dogs, let them run loose with it. They don't have any trouble. I wouldn't leave them in it too awful long if it's hot, though. That's the thing. It's not too bad out here right now. It's overcast. It's probably 80 degrees. She's not really doing anything, but this would not be a good one, I don't think, for early season in September if you got an early wood duck hunting teal when it's hot, because I'm telling you, it's thicker than 5mm. I mean, those two things together, and it's very, very sturdy. And I guarantee you can pick that dog up with this. Yeah, see, it's not going to come loose. So looks like they've come up with a pretty good product here. They are $100, so that's the one thing that's really been a sticking point for a lot of people. Like, why would I pay $100? Well, I wouldn't pay $100 for a vest if I had one dog, but I've got those 3 dogs, and I hunt with all 3 of them. And this right here, for me, probably saved me money. And we'll see how it holds up. It's definitely put together better than the other ones, but it ought to be for what they're charging for it. So, I mean, it's as I suspected it should be when it came in. Other vests I can give you an opinion about. Avery makes a 3mm and then a 5mm boater's parka. Avery's was always my favorite vest. That 5mm boater's parka was top shelf, as good a quality as you could hope for. It zipped and it also Velcroed on the top. The boater's parka had a couple handles on it to pick the dog up. It's a really good one. If you're looking at that, if you're not going to spend $100 on one, if you're just going to spend for one dog, I would highly recommend the Avery's boater's parka. Again, that banded one, that's the only thing from banded I would probably ever buy. But some of the other stuff I've had has been not so good. But it does work really well. And Alps puts one out. I wouldn't have anything to do with it. I bought one of them, and the underside of it just literally disintegrated during the season. So I don't know what that was all about, but it seemed like the more water it got on it, the more it disintegrated and destroyed, which didn't make a lot of sense to me for something that's going to be in and out of the water 1,000 times. But that's about all I've got for these vests right here. I can tell you right now that if I had to line these up as far as which ones were the best that I've hunted a lot with, the Avery boater sparker would be number one, which I don't have one here. When we moved, I lost it. That banded one would be second. And this one will probably take over. Right now, I'd put it third, and that one probably fourth as far as the ones we've looked at here. But this one will probably go up to the front if it holds up as good as it looks like it's going to hold up. Because I mean, it is some sturdy stuff. Also, they make these panels. If you want to upland hunt, you can pull these panels off and put an orange one on here, and then they got a snow one that's white. I mean, the underside's still black and stuff, but they've got a white one too. So that's about all I've got. Got any comments, drop them below. You can subscribe or hit like. If you have any questions about these vests that I didn't answer, which I probably didn't because I'm new to this whole video game, so if there's questions you have that I didn't answer, I'll be more than happy to get back with you and let you know what I think. And then as the season goes on, I'll come back on this and we'll find out how well it's done, if it's lived up to the hype or whatever. Again, I didn't buy it because I need the fanciest stuff. I bought it because I got 3 dogs, so which is, I can't shoot enough ducks to keep these 3 dogs satisfied. If you could ever shoot enough ducks to keep a lab satisfied. But all right, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Like I said, if you need anything answered or whatever, just leave me a comment below. Have a good season.